This message is for all the good white people. For all the good white people. For all the white people who say, hey, I'm a good person. You know, I'm not racist. I stand against racism. I stand up against bigotry. I stand up against systemic oppression. The lie of white supremacy culture. I'm a good person. I'm not like them over there. You may even consider yourself a liberal or a progressive or a Democrat or something along those lines. This message is for you all of you. It's been almost 5 years since George Floyd was murdered, and y'all had this, you know, fake awakening to the realities of racial injustice and racial discrimination, systemic racism, anti-Black racism in America. It's been almost 5 years, and here we are, living in the reality of Project 2025. How did we get here? I'm going to tell you one of the ways that we got here. Maybe I'll tell you two, but for sure one. One of the ways that we got here is that y'all got it all wrong. You know how you got it all wrong? Because you thought when we said you have to speak up against racism, you thought we were telling you that because we wanted you to convince racist white people to not be racist anymore. And that's not what we were telling you that. That was not the point, and you got it all wrong. The reason why we told you that you have to speak up against racism is because it was your job to make sure that anti-Black racism and systemic racism and racial injustice and racial discrimination were not normalized. It was your job to ensure that anti-Black racism was morally, socially, and politically reprehensible. It was unacceptable, and it was absolutely not normal. It was your job to make sure that all the racist white people knew that your way of being, your way of believing, your way of acting and behaving is absolutely morally, socially, politically unacceptable. It's reprehensible. You will be shunned. You will be made to be an outcast in our society if you continue to operate in the lie of white supremacy. That's what your job was. We didn't tell you to talk to them to change their minds. See, you thought your job was to change their minds and then celebrate that you changed somebody's mind. No. That's what we told you. It doesn't matter if they are accepting what you're telling them or not. It doesn't matter if they're agreeing with what you're telling them or not. If they're saying, I'm not racist. No, that's not racist. No, that's not what I meant. No, you're wrong. And you're trying to go back and forth with them to prove to them that you're right and they're wrong. You were doing it wrong. You had the wrong idea. That's not what the point was. The point was to let them know, if you continue to behave in this manner, if you continue to perpetuate and support and uphold these racist ideologies, you are going to get called out every single time. You are going to get shunned every single time. We are going to draw attention to you. We're going to make sure that all of you know, all of you who support these ideas know that you are not a good person. You are not someone that we admire, look up to, or even respect in our society, because you are causing harm every single day to Black people, to people of color, to Black and brown immigrants. So no, it's not acceptable. What you believe is not acceptable. It's not okay. You're not a good person if you're acting in that way and supporting racist politicians, racist elected officials, racist laws and policies and systems and practices. No. It was to make sure it wasn't normalized and it wasn't accepted. That was the goal in that respect, okay? Another thing is, you guys have never had a plan. You've never had a plan. Project 2025 is a clear and distinct, concise and calculated plan. What the goals are, how to reach those goals, what the timeline is, what everyone's role is, what the step-by-step plan, action plan is. Y'all have never had that. You never had a plan like that. And that's why we are where we are, because those who plan win. Those who fail to plan fail. So that's why we are where we are. If you ever wonder, like, how did we get here? Oh my gosh, I can't believe this. It's you. It's you. And then a lot of y'all have the nerve to be on social media yelling basically at your elected officials saying, stop being so passive. Democrats, do something. Why aren't you doing more? And it's like, say that to yourself. Why aren't you doing more? And why haven't you been doing more? Why have you been so passive? You haven't been aggressive either. You've had 5 years. You've had 5 years. What have you done? It's not on us. It's not on us. We're out here just trying to survive. You got to do better. You have to do better. And one of the ways you can do better is to actually put what you have been learning into action and to create a plan. Get educated, get informed, get in community, and get to work. All right? I have resources at the link in my profile if you want some guidance with that, but you still have to do the work. I can't do the work for you. That's it. That's the message.